Breaking news, ESPN reports that Stephen A. Smith wants Odell Beckham Jr. to request a trade. This means, of course, absolutely nothing at all, but it doesn't disqualify the Browns from trading him. Baker's numbers without Odell Beckham Jr. on the field have actually been better than with him on the field, yet it's just known, basically without doubt, that Odell is a top 5 receiver talent. Tier 1, Hopkins, Michael Thomas, Julio, Devontae Adams, and Odell should be on that tier. So when will he show it again? In another change of scenery? Hola friends, welcome to Takes in Fuego. Today we look at how Odell could actually be traded to another team. The rumor mills were swirling that the Browns and the Vikings were talking in regard to an Odell Beckham Jr. trade. That is allegedly just a rumor, and Odell is allegedly happy with his role in the Cleveland offense. After the 2020 season, the Cleveland Browns owe Odell Beckham Jr. no guaranteed money and could cut him at basically any time they feel like it. But like anyone knows, why cut him for nothing when you could trade him for something? Odell has been frustrated on the Cleveland Browns sidelines a lot, and maybe he should be. I love Baker Mayfield, and I even love his 230 commercials, but he hasn't been in a good groove with Odell, it seems. And on the flip side, Cleveland may be frustrated too. Odell has meant very little to this Cleveland Browns offense, all things considered, and he could perhaps be of more use to another team. Say someone like the New England Patriots? Bill Belichick might take a look at his list of drafted wide receivers and say to himself, you know what? I suck at drafting wide receivers, that is. Their last drafted wide receiver that really turned out well for them was in round 7 of 2009 when they drafted Julian Edelman. The jury's still out on N'Keal Harry, I suppose. Belichick might look at this as a, hey, I could draft another Aaron Dobson in the first or second round, or I could just trade it, straight up, for Odell Beckham Jr. He has taken some shots at wide receivers who are characters before, like Randy Moss, Josh Gordon, and the very mild-mannered Antonio Brown. He could certainly handle Odell Beckham Jr. Another team is already connected to Odell. This team offered more to the Giants than the Browns did the first time. And that team is the San Francisco 49ers. The Giants just didn't want to trade Beckham to an NFC rival, which is a good move too. You wouldn't want to meet him in the playoffs or anything. That offense in San Francisco would look pretty incredible. The young Shanahan calling plays, Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and Odell, and one of their 5 running backs that they use. This would be a ridiculously fun offense, and my new favorite Madden team. A team that's been reported to be aggressive for some potential trades is the Philadelphia Eagles. They're still looking for somehow, in some way, to compete in that loaded NFC East division. And you know how you would do that? Odell Beckham Jr. You have Carson Wentz, who if I was an Eagles fan would absolutely give me an aneurysm, with all the incredible plays he makes, followed by the most reckless play you'll see all week. But still, he can make throws that like 4 quarterbacks in the league can make. You know who's going to appreciate that precision? Odell Beckham Jr. Baker and Eli are certainly good to great NFL quarterbacks depending on the season, but they don't have that Carson Wentz precision. And the Eagles fans will be excited to finally have a solid 1-2 wide receiver core, Fulgham and Odell. After that whole Antonio Brown thing, the Raiders can't be looking at another disgruntled wide receiver, can they? They can. Contrary to what I thought would happen, the Raiders do appear to be rising. John Gruden continues to draft either Clemson or Alabama players, and it seems like it's working out for them. Since he's been there, nearly 50% of their draft picks are from Clemson or Alabama. And if you plug OBJ into that offense, you already have Josh Jacobs, you already have Henry Ruggs, you already have Darren Waller, and with OBJ, you have weapons. What do you think happens with OBJ? Does he stay a Cleveland Brown? Does he get shipped to New England? Let me know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe for more wide receiver trades.